Hey, good morning. Before we get into today's program, I want to thank and tell you about our special new sponsor, Warren Tire. Warren Tire and Auto Center has been in Tuscaloosa and a university staple since 1961. It's now in its third generation of family ownership. Warren Tire is the go to place for all your automotive needs, now with two great locations to better serve you. For tires, brakes, and alignment, reach out to the 15th Street location at 205 759 5505. For all other automotive needs, reach out to the University Boulevard location at 205 758 2739. We really appreciate Warren Tire for jumping onto the program. You know them; they're right there by Nukes on University. They're right across the street from the stadium, right there on 15th Street, right by the stadium on 15th Street. We really appreciate Warren Tire. We hope you guys go and use them for all your automotive needs. Remember, if you need brakes, tires, and alignment, call the 15th Street location. That's 205 759 5505. For all other automotive needs, you need just an oil change, anything like that, you can call out to the University Boulevard location, 205 758 2739. That's Warren Tire. We really appreciate them jumping on the program, and we cannot wait to tell you all about them.
This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa. Oh my gosh, the sun did come out after Saturday's basketball game. Good morning, Tuscaloosa. This is the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, BamaCentral.com. You are the listener, the viewer, watching us on the Bama Central YouTube channel, listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. You might be checking us out right now live on my social media machines at Joe Gaither6. Of course, we invite you to chime in right there. Comments, questions, queries, and complaints at Joe Gaither6. You can always send them to our friend Theo Fernandez as well. Theo Fernandez joining us back-to-back weeks. Theo Fernandez _. You can find him on the Twitter machine. Joins us today. He's got all right. We're going to get to the voicemails. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get to the voicemails. We got 3, 4, 5 voicemails from the weekend. Alabama losing to Tennessee. You guys reacted. We'll play those pretty much right off the bat. We'll get to that. We'll talk Alabama, Tennessee. I will get into spring practice because Alabama's football spring practice is actually getting kicked off in like 20 minutes. We'll be getting over there to hear from Kalen DeBoer in just a little bit, about 10:45, 11 o'clock. We'll throw that on the Bama Central YouTube channel as well. And then we'll finish with Elimination Chamber. But first, Theo, I got to give you a lot of hard times. I got to give you a hard time for two reasons. First, already getting compliments from your episode last week from listeners. People texting me, who is this guy? Who is this guy? He sounds like a radio guy. Sounds like he knows what he's doing. So, Theo, already getting some notoriety. How you feel about that?
I appreciate the kind words, and I'll just try to keep bringing that momentum forward, continue it, and you guys just keep listening to the show, and I'll try to keep delivering.
All right, so that's the positive. I got two negatives. Negative number one, you're already getting compliments, and then you're just telling me you're not going to be here next week. You're already asking for time off. You're here one show, and then you're going to ask for time off.
If I'm really at that level, if those people really like me the way they say they do, I'm here. I'm the talent now.
Yeah, asking for next Monday. So, look, I already got a backup in there. So I'm giving you next Monday off. I got me a backup. So we'll pinch hit next Monday. The third thing we're giving you a hard time for, as I cannot control my hands. You're going to bring the flu into here. You brought the bird flu into the Derek Daniels studio. We are live in the Derek Daniels State Farm studios. Make sure that you don't come down to the bottom side today because Theo Fernandez brought the bird flu to the Derek Daniels State Farm studios. Call Derek. Call them. They'll be happy to talk to you on the phone. 205-758-3391. You can keep your health through the phone and make sure all your insurance needs are taken care of. 205-758-3391. Call Derek and see how much he can save you today. Theo, you feeling okay today?
I'm feeling great. Was that ad read planned? Was it planned to come out that?
It just flew.
That flew perfect.
No, I look. You see the notes here. There's like 5 sentences here. That's the notes. That's all we got. So yeah. What you hear is what you got. Are you feeling okay though? You come in saying, "Oh, I don't want to get anybody sick." Yes, I'm giving you a hard time, but now I'm actually checking on you.
No, I think I'm doing great. Just a little congested. I hope my voice sounds okay out there.
Hey, sounds good in my ears. Everybody chime in and tell Theo thanks for playing sick today at Joe Gaither6 on the comments section. You can leave a voicemail at 205-462-7340 extension 4800. and we'll start right there because we just need to dive right into Alabama. Oh, was it the worst 2 minutes of basketball you ever seen?
Hard to argue otherwise.
Oh, it was disgusting. Let's turn to the voicemail line. You can call 205-462-7340, extension 800. Be a part of the program. Leave your voicemails right there, and we'll react to them.
What's up, guys? It's Dax again. Halftime of Alabama, Tennessee. I got one word: winnable. It is very winnable right now. The offense is playing pretty normal. I mean, we're getting inside in the lane. Tennessee's playing really good defense. They have such a good defense. But if we could get just a couple more threes, we just need to start shooting more threes, and we will start to go on some runs. But our defense is playing pretty good. I'm loving the effort on that side. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's go. Shut them out in the second half. That'd be sweet.
Roll Tide. That's Dax calling on the hotline, and he's going to have his post game call here in just a second. But what was his one word right there, Theo? Winnable, and that's what's leaving me with so much disgust.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Alabama. We talk about this game like they were up by so much. Meanwhile, down the stretch, Alabama was only up 3 most of the game, but it felt like it was so much more than 3.
Well, you
felt like you're
Go
up
ahead. I'm
5,
sorry.
6, 7, and you're clearly playing significantly better basketball than them out there. And then you just have one of the most baffling just lapses in play that I've seen out of an Alabama basketball team.
Well, let's just say in the first half, because that's where Dax is, and
Okay.
and you're good. You're not going out of bounds at all. I'm looking at this first half, and he says winnable, and yes, absolutely. You shot 40% from 3 in the first half, 4 of 10. You outscored them in the paint, 22-10. You only had 5 turnovers on the road. I mean, everything is going your way outside of a couple here and there shots. The last possession. You're gonna was it Jordan Gainey? Was that it? The very last possession of the half just infuriated me, and really should have told you exactly what was coming. Alabama. Let me go down to this play by play because I don't want to get this incorrect. First period right there, all the way down to the bottom is our zeros. Yeah. Boom. Okay. So yes. Oh, it was almost perfect. You're set up for a 7-point lead to go into halftime because Mark Sears makes himself a shot with 7 seconds left. I don't remember if Rick Barnes called a timeout or I don't think he did. Regardless, you had Jordan Gainey take it coast to coast in 7 seconds, going from baseline to baseline, and not only are we going to make a layup at the buzzer to close the gap just a little bit more, but you're going to foul. Who was it? Youngblood. I mean, Youngblood. Let's be honest. Where the heck were you? Were you even in Knoxville on Saturday? Really unfortunate performance from Chris Youngblood. And this right here, you're gonna foul a layup at the end of the half. Not even hard enough to make him miss the layup. No, Gainey makes the layup, makes the free throw, and they take what would have been a 7-point lead at halftime down to 4. And it's like, oh, all that hard work, and Tennessee's still right there. And Dax just mentioned it in his call right there. Their defense in the first half, we knew their defense was going to be good. Dax is right. Their defense was phenomenal. I really should move that down when we take them out, so it works better for the visual. Just the laps. It just seemed like you don't want to say the team doesn't care because that's not true. That's not true at all. That's not even remotely close to being true. There just seems like there are lapses in attention. And of course, I have ADD. You see it if you listen to this show. But it just seems like the team, I don't know if it's Coach Oates. I don't know if it's Mark Sears, Grant Nelson. But the end of the half right there, you're going to go take a 7-point lead and everybody, rah-rah and high-fiving each other. And boom, Tennessee right back down the floor. Oh, this half is not over. The game is still going, boys. And boom, Jordan Gainey down the floor, 94 feet to the hole. Really infuriating.
Do you remember what my take was last week, Joe?
Tell us.
It was that as good as this Alabama basketball team is, you can't deny that they are a very, very good basketball team. When you have to play this kind of gauntlet, when you have to close the season the way Alabama did, and you have to do that just to get to the SEC tournament, which is going to be more games against insane teams, which is just to get to the one part of the season that really matters. I said this last week. I stand by it. It's really, really hard to get a team. It's always hard to keep a team dialed in for a whole season. But when you have a season like this, and you see so many other SEC teams, I mean, look, like Vanderbilt basketball, for example, very solid team, not good enough to realistically be winning 4 straight games against ranked teams. They're doing that because teams in the SEC are slipping just because of how brutal everything's been. And that's not to say that there's not great opposition everywhere, but I fully think that Alabama is a better team than Tennessee,
Ugh.
which is
Keep going.
a big line to say. I think that I don't even think it's particularly close. You watch the game, you watch the way the teams match up, and you watch what they've done and the way they've played this season. Alabama's the better team, but they need to get their stuff together. They need to refocus up. You know, the fact that you're playing 2 top 3 teams in the next 6 days just to get to Bridgestone, just to get to March Madness. It's just such a gauntlet. It's such a grind. And this regular season, I really think both games remaining are pure toss-ups just because everyone's so gassed. The conference is just too crazy. It's too much of a gauntlet right now.
All right, so let's start with, you just said that Alabama's a better basketball team than Tennessee. Even though Tennessee won on Saturday, I can recognize talent-wise 1 through 14, 1 through 13. Yeah, you're probably right. Alabama better than Tennessee talent-wise. Tennessee knows who they are. Tennessee knows who they are and leans into it. And Tennessee, regardless of how you feel about their talent, Tennessee does the one thing that drives me crazy about Alabama. Tennessee takes every single possession seriously. They take every single possession like, buddy, we're getting a shot here. We're gonna find our shot. We're gonna look. I just drove me nuts. Let's keep going on the voicemail because I'll just lose my brain. And I think Dax has a post-game call.
All right. This is going to be short because I need a shower after that. The Josh Pate pucker meter was at an 11 out of 10 for the entire game. And now I'm depressed. Roll Tide.
Oh, don't be depressed, Dax. It'll be A-okay. Bama gets back into action this week, Wednesday.
Nobody will ever remember this buzzer beater.
That's not true.
If Alabama beats Auburn in a week.
Well,
I'm just going to say, as far as from an actual, like, oh, this really, really sucked. If Alabama goes into the Plains and beats Auburn, the buzzer beater is going to mean a lot less.
Sure, but if Tennessee wins the SEC tournament, or it all depends on what happens next with all 3 of these teams: Alabama, Tennessee, Auburn. It kind of all depends on what happens
someone's
next.
Someone's going to get the last laugh. We don't know who it is.
Right, we're still laughing. The fat lady has not sung yet. He says the Josh Pate pucker meter was at 11 out of 10. Yeah. I just had a feel. I'm watching the very last possession, and Meshack comes in and obviously makes the 3-pointer. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But I just had a feeling this is about like when Alabama wasted their own chance, and then you saw what happened at the end of the half with the short time. Tennessee, yeah, I just had a feeling. So my rear end was not, but I was already accepting defeat before that play even started. Let's keep going here.
This is Angus in Chicago. Just wanting the Tide Nation to know, be put on notice, that Deacon Barnes has blessed you and then kicked your ass. Go Vols.
I have a lot of Tennessee fan friends, and that one being my best friend. Love you, Taylor. Thanks for the call, jerk. you have anything to say to him, Theo, or we keep moving on?
No, I was just going to keep this rolling.
Oh, Taylor, you break my heart. Look. Okay, I'll ask you. Well, this is a good place to interject here. Look, it's just one game. It doesn't matter. Blah, blah, blah. SEC tournament, NCAA tournament, blah, blah, blah. XYZ, ABC. Am I just this infuriated, Theo, because of it being Tennessee? Because of it being a buzzer beater? Or part the last one, the one I wasn't able to find words. You haven't beat Tennessee since December of 2021. So I tie that into the first reason, Tennessee, and you haven't beat them since 2021. Or the buzzer beater aspect, or should I just throw all this in should I just throw all this in the trash? You're being an emotional Joe. Yeah. Be better. Come on. What's your assessment here? Am I just emotional because it's Tennessee, or because it's the buzzer beater, or should I just, okay, Joe, be a little more mature?
No, I mean, I think everything you're saying holds merit. There's no school that Alabama fans are more desperate for wins over, regardless of the sport, than Tennessee, right?
They got you in football. Yeah. They got you in men's basketball now, and women's basketball too, pretty recently too.
Even Alabama's hockey team lost to Tennessee the night of the basketball game. They came into Tuscaloosa 3-0 win on Alabama's senior night. You
didn't go into the locker room in between periods ripping helmets off?
I should have been full Herb on the speech, hyping everyone. I want to see some hockey. I am a hockey player. We need some of that going, but man,
so am I just too emotional here? Yeah, I'm asking for some clarification.
No,
you're not from the South. I know you're a student here, but you didn't grow up in it.
I got annoyed watching it, and it's all because of the way it happened. If he had just let's say hypothetically, Mark Sears, right, with 3 seconds left, makes like a layup to tie the game, and then
that would require you getting the deadgum basketball inbounds.
Yeah. Like, let's say we'd been down, we had just tied it, and then Tennessee hits a crazy shot to win it. Whatever. The fact that we just handed them that opportunity on a silver platter, it's unacceptable. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You cannot be doing that at all. And that's why it hurts so much, in my opinion, at least. It was just so unnecessary.
Drives me crazy. Let's keep going on the voicemail line. Reminder, you can call the voicemail line at 205-462-7340, extension 800. You can be like Dax and call in as much as you want. Leave us your reactions. Or you can be like Taylor if you are a hater of the program and leave us a comment. I don't think Taylor hates the program. He just hates the Tide. Let's keep going.
What's going on, boys? Are we sure that was Nate Oates coaching that game today? Because it sure looks a lot like Anthony Grant or Avery Johnson out there. I mean, Nate Oates, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to be a math genius, and you can't count to 5? LeBaron Fallon, I get you're a freshman, man, but you have to know and have that internal clock in your head when the 5 seconds is up to call a timeout. And speaking of 5, Jaron Stevenson, you let a dude who's 6'5", 6'4", get the biggest rebound in the game over you. He just wanted it more, plain and simple. He just wanted the ball more, and this is about as gut-wrenching of a loss I've seen in a long time. But unfortunately, there's no rest for the weary because we got a really good Florida team coming to town on Wednesday. I'll holler at y'all later and roll tide.
Woo! You can be like our friend right there, commiserating Theo. God, Nate. At least Coach Oates, you took it in the pros game.
Hey, can I, before we get into this Oates thing, there's one really quick point I want to hit. Jaron Stevenson. You're 6'11". You're one of the most athletically gifted guys on the team. You have, from a purely physical standpoint, he is built like an NBA player. He plays like he's 6'5" sometimes.
You know the saying, baffling. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's fully what this is. It almost feels like if he knew how good he was, how talented he was, and you see it at times. You saw one of those incredible plays against Kentucky. He literally went up, blocked a shot, like probably jumped about 12 feet to make it happen, sets up fast breaks. When his game is on, it is really on, and he provides so much for this team. And then it's just you have moments like that that just make you question his whole role with the squad. And it's absurd because look, there's so much talent on this team. I wasn't expecting Stevenson to fully break out or anything.
But can you block out on a free throw?
That's basic stuff. That's blue collar stuff. That's what you're expected to do. And it's just heartbreaking that, we can't trust him to do it at this point in the season, at this point in his career.
This final minute is atrocious. This final minute is just, oh my God, it's so bad, Theo. Okay, I'm at 205 here, 73-70. You make your 3-pointer by Mark, and I'm thinking, okay, baby, we're about to roll here. The momentum. Then, okay, keep going. Oh, he's personal foul, and Mark Ziegler gets the free throw line, makes a 1-point game. You keep on going. All right, yes, here we go. 135, you have a missed layup by LeBaron, defensive rebound, Milicic. Turnover, Ziegler. Great, okay, good job, LeBaron. And then LeBaron on a fast break. Right, so that takes you to 75-72 at 115, and you're feeling good.
Which, all year, I mean, especially as of the past month.
And I'm feeling.
His reflexes, Phylon, just those quick steals. He's averaging about, just over the past month, probably 2 just breakaway layups a game. It's huge. His reflexes are insane. That man could be like a goalie or something. He's just so fast on the hands. Always just such a great eye for that ball. I'm so impressed.
You get another kind of run out, and LeBaron gets fouled. Oh my gosh.
Now we're in the final 30 seconds, right?
Yeah. Okay. Where am I at here? All these missed layup, defensive rebound. This sheet is so jumbled. Here we go. You're at 36, right? 36 seconds left. LeBaron misses the first free throw after fast break, and he makes a free throw. You're up by 4. Okay. 36 seconds left. You're up by 4. And Alabama lets Chaz Lanier get right to the lane. Okay, I'm actually comfortable with this. Comfortable with that. You don't want to foul. I'd like a little tougher, a little more resistance, but we don't want to foul. So you let Lanier get a layup.
Yeah, they only took 6 seconds.
Exactly.
For it a little bit.
Stay in front of him. There's a line, Theo, between Ole to the basket and I'm not going to foul you, right?
That was the exact same kind of play that happened at the end of the first half.
Yes.
And straight, easy access right to the hole.
Okay, so keep going. Personal foul, Grant Nelson. Missed free throw, Chaz Lanier on his 3-point play attempt. Right, okay. Dead ball rebound. That's it right there. 3-point play attempt. Chaz Lanier misses. Dead ball rebound by Tennessee. Jaren Stevenson foul. Basically lets the guy loop around him and, is grabbing at him, holding at him, pushing at him, this, that, and the other. Meshack makes 2 free throws to tie the game. But everything's in front of you. Okay, it's a tie game. There is exactly 30 seconds on the clock. The play clock, or the shot clock and the play clock are like 0.2 seconds apart. This is the last play of the game.
There's realistically no way you lose this game in regulation.
We're going to overtime, worst case scenario. Unbelievable. And then dribble across half court. Great. And I'm honestly fine running the clock all the way down to 12 seconds left before you get started. Yes, that hasn't really worked out for Alabama a ton this year, but I'm fine with it. That's good strategy. You get some ghost screens action, and LeBaron's got the ball going downhill, and LeBaron gets tied up for jump ball.
Jump ball, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Was that what it was called? Yeah. Okay. They don't have a jump ball right here.
Or did he call? I think he called.
He called timeout. Yeah, team timeout right here.
It would have been a jump ball if he didn't call the timeout. Right?
Yes, you're right. Yes. Yeah. He gets down there. He calls timeout, and then they go into the sideline. They go in the break. They come back on the baseline. 3.5 seconds left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turnover. Tennessee ball straight down the floor. 3-pointer. You get a high ball screen. No one really hedges, and Meshack makes a 3 to win the game. I mean, how many mistakes do you have in the last minute? You've got your You got your rebound. You got your offensive rebound allowed by Jaron Stevenson. You've got your easy access layup for Shaz Lanier. You've got really and truly, it's an error on Nate. Coach Oates said it. I should have called timeout when the sideline guys getting down to 3, 4, 5. I should have called timeout. He said I thought we were going to get the ball in there. We've seen lots of Alabama fans, prominent Alabama fans, comment on the social media machines about LeBaron Philon inbounding the basketball. Inbounding the basketball has been a weakness of Nate Oates over 6 years. We'll just say that. I don't want to make it into a bigger deal because you get people going, they can't inbound it ever. It's not that they can't inbound it ever, but they seem to continuously have a little bit of trouble getting the ball inbounds creatively. Okay, so you don't get the ball in. Okay, you don't get the ball in bounds. You turned it over. That's a fine. $1. Just teasing. Okay, you turn the ball over. Fine, whatever. Yes, you're pulling your hair out, but the game is still live. 3.5 seconds. The game is still live. Play some defense.
Allowing that shot. I'm sorry. It's absurd. It's unacceptable, and it goes against all the stuff that Nate Oates preaches so much. I mean, is that blue collar basketball?
No, not at all.
Blue collar basketball.
At the end of both halves, it's like, we go white collar, just soft as a baby's bottom.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah,
it really is.
You sitting here. You guys started the talk, not me. You guys started the national championship talk last year, 10 months ago, right? We all have our fun, and it's not very long after we had our fun in Arizona that inside the program, we're winning and we want to win a national championship. We're coming back together to win a national championship. The goal the next year is to win a national championship. Look, I'll just say it, Theo. I hate that.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I hate it. I hate it so much because I do think it should be your desire and your goal 1,000%. But to put that into the ether is very dangerous, in my opinion, because how many teams win the national championship in basketball every year, Theo?
All right, this is a take where I fully disagree with you, Joe.
Okay, so it's one, right?
Yeah,
answer the question.
It is one.
One, right. And it's how many great teams have been in the tournament and been bounced out? Lots, right? Or, okay, like it's dangerous, in my opinion, to put that expectation out, and then you've got 9 months worth of play. Yeah, and you've got the talent. It's very evident. We can see it. The talent can win a national championship, but the chemistry, the attention to detail, the appreciation for the little things that lead to winning has not been there consistently this year. And that's what's made me like, okay, you set us up. You set me up because I'm going in every year thinking, hey, let's just win the next game. Let's just look, non-conference schedule. Look at this. Nate Oates set us up with another monster. Oh my gosh, the SEC. You're a monster too. Let's just win the next game. Let's get a good seed for Nashville. Let's get a good dice roll. We want to get a 1, 2, 3, 4 seed in the NCAA tournament and see what happens. Of course, I want to go to the Final Four and win a national championship. I will cry like a baby if that happens. I would.
Yeah.
But do you set me up? You set these expectations, and now here we are 9 months later. You're about to get your chance. Here we are 9 months later, and the play just hasn't quite. The little attention to details. Rick Barnes has his team on tilt all the way to zeros in both halves. You do not have your team right there dialed in all the way to zeros in both halves, and you lose the game. Is Tennessee better than you? Up for debate. Theo says no. All right, Theo, I know I just thought. I think it's very dangerous. You set me up for this.
All right. What if we were talking about football right now? Is Alabama football allowed to enter a season saying we are here to win a national championship?
I'm also going to push back on that. I think that's silly. Alabama.
It's what we did for
Well-
10 years. It's what we did for a decade in Tuscaloosa.
But I think the fan base is silly for doing that.
It's
Was
what they've done.
was this year a failure? So I'll counter your question. Was this year a failure?
I think that this year has to be considered a failure because he lost 4 games, but I think it also has, and we're not going to go into a whole Alabama
That's
football
fine.
thing, but
We will
I
in a
think
second.
that it's dumb to set that kind of expectation in the first year of having coach.
Okay.
But
Was 2 years ago a failure? You go to the Rose Bowl and you lose to Michigan.
I think so.
Oh,
I think that, yes, when Nick Saban is your coach and you are the elite program, undeniably in there with the best of the best, you are championship or bust.
okay. And you're what?
Do you think
Keep going.
there are Kansas basketball fans and Duke basketball fans and Carolina fans that were just happy every time they fall short? Do you think 2015 Kentucky, after starting the season, 37-0, and then losing to Wisconsin in the Final Four,
Frank the
was
Tank.
just happy with that season?
Frank the
They were
Tank.
like, you know what? I know that we lost this heartbreaking game in the Final Four, but you know what? Yeah, we won 36 games in a row. I'm happy. No,
They should be.
you play elite college basketball when you're at this level. You play to win a national championship. And this, we talked about this last week. I fully don't. You don't play for, oh, we are happy we won an SEC regular season title. No. You're going for those Final Four banners because the great teams, the ones who are remembered, are the ones who collect those banners. And if Alabama basketball wants to reach that level, we need to be coming into seasons with that take. You need to be championship or bust. That's what it takes to win in college sports right now.
But what
That's what
happens
you
to
need.
the expectation? So here's the deal. 2 years ago, Jalen Milroe falls 1 yard short on the goal line out in California. Okay. Caleb Downs busts a play on 4th down to go way behind. Like the margin for error is razor
Yes.
thin.
Okay.
And so because it's razor thin at that level, the championship level, I mean, you got to have some sort of you got to have some sort of grace there. Think about you praise that Kentucky team. That Wisconsin team was really damn good too.
Yeah.
Frankly,
They were a great team.
They were a great college team. They had a who was the
Frank the Tank,
who was
Sam
the
Decker,
shooter?
Nigel Hayes.
Yeah,
They were loaded.
right. And so we're going to say that Kentucky just failed? No, they gave their fan base 30-something great games. They gave their fan base an SEC title. They gave their fan base an SEC regular season title.
Yeah.
They gave them how many tournament destinations that year? They gave them two or three net cutting ceremonies. Like they just didn't. It came up short at the end.
And Kentucky fans are always going to remember that season. They're always going to be so happy about that season, but they're always going to remember if only we won it all. When you think about 2023 Alabama, when you think about Isaiah Bond making that incredible catch on 4th and 31, right?
I think about all the hooey and I think about all the just bull crap that went on behind the scenes that Nick Saban just mastermind and kept everything together. Look, to get to Atlanta and beat Georgia that year, I mean, that was as good as winning a national championship. That team had no business.
I love that team. It's the first Alabama football team I was ever in person to watch. It will always be a team that I love, and all the players from them, I'm going to follow their program, everything. But every single time I think about that team in any context, there's a small part of me that cannot forget that feeling of standing in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl and watching that Seth McLaughlin snap and watching the way it ended and knowing that team, as fun as they were, as many amazing memories as I have, as much as they meant to me, they never won it all. And I will never be.
But look on the other sideline. Look to the other sideline, Theo. That Michigan team was great.
Yeah.
That Michigan team was amazing. And their game plan for that Rose Bowl, oh my God.
That is a game that Alabama could have won. And that's a game that I so desperately wish Alabama could have won, because championships are what moves the needle for me as a fan. And
Yeah, but Sharon Moore put Pete Golding in a box.
it was an amazing Michigan, incredible team, incredible coaching, incredible game plan. They should have won that game. There's no denying that.
The genius to slow play the offense to say, okay, look, they're just subbing based on personnel all of the time. We're going to keep the same personnel in. We're going to wait till late in the play clock. We're going to stay in the huddle, and then we're going to break the huddle and go snap the damn ball. It was just the players did fine. They got outcoached. Yeah. And it's fine. Like,
Let me be
okay, let's address this, and I'll let you keep going. James Ludeman on the Facebook comments, he already hit us with one. Nate Oates admitting he mismanaged the game really astounded me. They can't keep this up. Nate Oates was very upfront about taking responsibility, saying that I should have called timeout, I should have done this, I should have done that. James Ludeman continues on the Facebook machine. You can too as well. We were not elite 2 years ago or last year. Yeah, definitely last year. And any big wins are great, but it just depends on what the consideration is for the word failure. If failure isn't winning a national championship, then a lot of teams are failing programs. That's right. One team wins the title.
And I am in no way saying that every team should be championship or bust. I'm saying that there are a select few amount of schools.
If Auburn doesn't win a national championship in basketball, did they fail?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. I'm sorry. I mean, you've had Bruce now for how many? I don't even remember how many years. You've already been to a Final Four. If you're an Auburn fan, are you happy with, we made it back to the Final Four?
You should be.
You should be, obviously, because, okay, you've never done this before. So you can be appreciative of the fact that this guy got you to a Final Four. But you can also look at the landscape of college basketball and look at the fact that all year you have been the best team in the conference that is having the best individual season of any conference ever. You're okay with just being, we were the best team in this conference all regular season. Oh, what happened in the postseason?
Yale.
Some 5 seed upset us in the Sweet 16.
Gonzaga
are you
gets them.
Happy with that?
No. You should be, because you just watched Janai Broome have the best basketball season in I was going to say in their program's history, but
someone you're forgetting about.
Yeah. You probably watched Janai basketball have a top 5 Auburn basketball season.
Yeah.
And you should appreciate that.
Probably top 3.
Sure.
I'd have to imagine.
I'll leave room for that. But you have won the SEC regular season championship. You won in Tuscaloosa. You might win 2 more games and win in Auburn in your rivalry game. You're going to go to Bridgestone Arena as the number 1 seed. Look, Auburn has had a great season. They've had a great season. If they get bounced in the Sweet 16 because, Chad Baker-Mazara gets himself double technicaled out of the game or something, it just is what it is. Like, circumstances are so finicky, and that's why I think that to say failure or success is dependent on tournament results. I mean, yeah, this Alabama team, you have to get to the Sweet 16. You have to. Period. Like, I will go there. If you're not in the Sweet 16, you failed. I'll even be leave enough room to say you got to get to the Elite Eight. That's kind of my threshold there, Theo. Between the Sweet 16 and Elite Eight, if you don't get to the Elite Eight, I'm almost there with you as far as failure.
I fully understand everything you're saying.
You don't have to agree with me.
I fully appreciate it, but it's a hard thing to argue with. Like, there's full merit to everything you're saying. If we were recording this episode from the Derek Daniels State Farm studio in Lawrence, Kansas, this conversation would not happen in any way, shape, or form.
Are those Kansas people going to fire Bill Self over this year?
No, they're not quite going to, but they are ready to. They're getting the pitchforks ready.
But they're silly for that.
They're gonna probably do it.
You fire Bill Self. Who are you hiring?
Continues. I don't know. And look, Kansas is for context, for those who might not know, Pittsburgh Steelers of college basketball. They've had 8 coaches over their entire history. It's absurd. So no, they would not fire Bill Self, but the fan base definitely isn't happy with him.
I got one more voicemail I think that we got to hit, and let's find it right here.
This is James from Opelika. I just can't believe what I just saw. As I was telling my cousin wife, if Bama loses to Tennessee, they just need to clean house and fire the entire coaching staff, and that's about how I feel right about now. I've had about 18 Keystones since Jemai Meshack, that is named. I don't know why we can't recruit him, but since he broke the Bama hearts, I've been having about 18 Keystones. I just don't know why we can't get over that hump and beat Tennessee. They're just too good. I don't know. Maybe we just need to clean house and find another coach. I just don't know. All right, y'all take care now.
Oh, James Nopalika, have another 18 Keystones. Well, it's Monday morning. Don't do that. Save it for tonight's Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go take it, Theo.
Yeah, we're not. Come on. It's honestly just, it's already gotten to the point where I just look back at it as more of a funny thing than anything. And I know it's like,
what's
weird.
funny about losing to Tennessee that way?
I know this is weird to say because it still should be so fresh and, it should hurt so much, but I don't know.
I'm not laughing, Theo.
I'm doing what every single coach yells their players to not do, and I'm looking ahead. I really am.
To Florida on Wednesday?
I'm looking ahead to Nashville.
Don't do that yet. You got 2 more games,
that's
buddy.
What I'm saying, and I don't know why. I don't know why my head's decided to do this. But
you have 2 more games against elite competition.
I should be so excited to sit down in Coleman and get to watch.
It's the last one. Wednesday.
Yeah, right. 2 top 8 teams play each other. I don't know where we're going to fall exactly in the AP, but
heartbreaking.
It's hard when the team is, I've been told every single game we've played has been such a huge matchup, and it's been so fun. I loved sitting down and watching us play Purdue.
We're in the old Big East, basically.
Yeah, and because we played such a gauntlet before even getting here. Those Vegas games were amazing. They were incredible. And then, getting to watch us go in, and even though Creighton isn't quite as good as some people thought they would be in hindsight. And
Theo, you probably don't hate Creighton in your soul like I do.
Oh, I know there's some stuff going on there. Lenardi, at least the one he put out a week ago, we were projected to play him in the second round.
I don't want that. Nope. Give me Auburn every weekend instead.
Anyone but Creighton.
Anyone but Creighton in the tournament.
Or Tennessee.
No, I mean, it drives me nuts, Theo. All right, we gotta move off this basketball game real quick. Actually, before I do, I'll give you one more. You got any closing thoughts? We won't hear from you for 2 weeks. You taking next week off already, superstar? You got any closing thoughts on the basketball before we move to spring football?
Look, I'm not saying at all that we can't remember this season fondly if the team gets upset in the round of 32. I'm not saying that we can't appreciate Mark Sears for coming in and staying and everything he did. And I'm not saying that like it was a waste of a season or anything. I'm just saying that Alabama basketball, if we really want to be the powerhouse that we've been playing like, if we want Nate Oates to go down as one of those all-time great coaches, because he very well could be.
He will be.
Should be, yeah. If you guys want all that for your fan base, you have to get your mind off SEC regular season titles and these other lower goals, because there are bigger goals up there that matter. And getting another Final Four banner hanging next to last year's is priority number 1 and the very thing that will make this season a success.
We'll see what happens. We play in Florida on Wednesday. We will bring Theo back in 2 weeks to talk more basketball. By that time, well, okay, hold on.
The brackets will
Hold
be
on. Let me
revealed.
see.
It'll be the day
Oh,
after
the day
Selection
after
Sunday.
the SEC tournament is the day you're back.
We will have 68 teams to discuss.
I won't care about that. I'm just going to care about the SEC tournament. I don't really.
No,
Monday.
That's March Madness.
We don't care about that on the Monday.
Oh yeah. I mean, the matchup will be revealed.
I'm just teasing you. I'm just giving you a hard time. We will talk about that in 2 weeks. Absolutely. SEC tournament and do bracketology. We're going to have Theo pin. Oh my gosh.
Full John Fanta, John Rothstein.
Theo, you're probably too young to have filled out a pen and paper bracket. Is that correct?
I fill one out every year.
In pen and paper?
We print them out. And
man after my own heart.
Yeah, yes. On my fridge. It'll be on my fridge in the apartment.
I can remember being middle school, carrying my bracket around in my back pocket through those 3 weeks, just making sure who I had. Big time pen and paper.
You know what's crazy is my paper bracket is actually going to be perfect this year. So
it will be.
I got the script. It'll be perfect this year.
So make sure you tune in 2 weeks. Theo is going to give you the perfect bracket next. Oh, Theo, did you do the homework that I gave you?
What was that homework, Joe?
I gave you homework last week.
Right after the show.
Yes, I gave you homework last week.
I did it.
An NBA update. Dax was sending me messages about can we get any NBA updates on our guys? You know, the Herb Jones who's hurt, the Brandon Miller who's hurt. You got Colin Sexton who's on the Jazz. Who you got for us? So keep going. This is the here we go.
One guy.
This is the Theo Fernandez really Alabama in the NBA update. We need to get some sounder. Dun, 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 dun.
Technically not an NBA update.
All right, that's fine. Go.
Alex Reese is playing great basketball. He just scored 17, really efficient with a bunch of boards in his last game. He really is just, for a guy who walked away from the game to come back and be playing like this and still clearly have it. He's a guy who I think there's a role for him on an NBA roster. And look, he's 25 already.
On your Knicks.
He may have turned
20. On your Nets.
Yeah, he's a Net. I'm not a Nets fan, actually, but he is, yes, in the Nets organization.
But you're from up there, right? So you're a Celtic.
Yeah. No.
Knicks?
Believe it or not, Oklahoma City Thunder fan. So we had Reese on the G League roster earlier in the year.
Y'all got your boy Jaden Shackelford still, right?
I believe he's hanging around.
In the G League.
Okay. He won a championship with us with our G League.
Woohoo!
Last year.
Hang the banner.
Yeah, it is hanging. It's the only thing OKC has won anytime. It's the only thing the whole state of Oklahoma has won besides softball and gymnastics anytime recently.
So no other NBA updates from our guys. Alex Reese, good couple of weeks.
Alex Reese, though, that's my big takeaway. Just because it's impressive, nobody's talking about it, and it does deserve to be talked about. It's a take that I really haven't seen a lot of places.
All right, we're going to keep talking into the mic, and in 2 weeks, you're going to bring us a more in-depth
real one, yes.
NBA update as requested by our caller Dax. So make sure you got to make the people happy, Theo.
I'll do my homework, yes.
2 weeks, Theo gives us an NBA update, and we're going to keep it up every Monday. We give a 2-3 minute Alabama in the NBA update all the way to the finals. Will there be an Alabama player in the NBA finals? Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful. We'll see. All right, we got to move off this and tell everybody about Derek Daniel. We are live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios right here off of McFarland Boulevard. You can call Derek and his team at 205-758-3391. Red, Reese, and Victoria are upstairs right now. They'd be happy to take your phone call. You have homeowners insurance questions, car insurance questions. You got life insurance questions. These guys can take care of it for you. Look, accidents, emergencies happen all throughout your life. Make sure you are prepared with the proper insurance. And when those emergencies happen, you want the right people in your corner. Derek Daniel and his team are those right people. Call them at 205-758-3391. They're local agents, local team. They would know exactly who to send you to in the area. If your car has trouble, your home has trouble, or even bigger problems than that, Derek can take care of you. 205-758-3391. Call and see how much Derek can save you today. I want to thank and tell you about our special new sponsor, Warren Tire. Warren Tire and Auto Center has been in Tuscaloosa and a university staple since 1961. It's now in its third generation of family ownership. Warren Tire is the go-to place for all your automotive needs, now with 2 great locations to better serve you. For tires, brakes, and alignment, reach out to the 15th Street location at 205-759-5505. For all other automotive needs, reach out to the University Boulevard location at 205-758-2739. We really appreciate Warren Tire for jumping onto the program. You know them; they're right there by Nukes on University. They're right across the street from the stadium, right there on 15th Street, right by the stadium on 15th Street. We really appreciate Warren Tire. We hope you guys go and use them for all your automotive needs. Remember, if you need brakes, tires, and alignment, call the 15th Street location. That's 205-759-5505. For all other automotive needs, you need just an oil change, anything like that, you can call out to the University Boulevard location, 205-758-2739. That's Warren Tire. We really appreciate them jumping on the program, and we cannot wait to tell you all about them. Oh my gosh, Theo Fernandez. Theo, it's the first day of spring practice.
It is.
What do I need to go ask Coach DeBoer today? I'm availability 10:45. We're going over there. You can see it on the Bama Central YouTube channel. We'll have all kinds of articles on the Bama Central website. Hey, Coach, is Keelan Russell going to start this year? Is Keelan Russell? He going to start? Hey, Coach. Why don't you tell us who the starters are? Who's going to play right tackle, Coach? Who's going to be the right tackle? I don't have any questions for Coach because he's not going to answer anything. Well, I'm being facetious, but jump in here, Theo. What is something smart we could ask Coach DeBoer that they actually will answer? Because of course you're not going to get any information on the quarterbacks. All 3 will get asked about. I promise you. How's Austin Mack looking? How's Ty Simpson looking? How's Keelan Russell? And he's going to say the exact same thing. Oh, he's looking really good. He's been working really hard. We're really excited about having him in the program. Really looking forward to seeing what he does in the spring. He's really been connecting with the teammates. Everything's been going really well, and we're just so excited about what his future is in the program. All 3 guys will have the same semblance of sentences said about them. You're not going to get anything from Coach as far as who's in the lead. It's day 1. So what in the world should we be asking Coach DeBoer that he actually will answer?
Well, obviously, everyone's excited to see the freshmen who came and reported early.
Almost all of them. Pretty much all of them.
Almost everyone, yeah. One guy that I'm very, very excited for is Derek Meadows. I just think that this man is so talented. Number 10 receiver in the country, I think.
Yeah, but did you see the jersey number they're throwing him in?
What are they giving him?
30.
30?
Isn't that disgusting for a wide receiver? They put out new numbers yesterday behind the Alabama paywall for about 10 minutes before they put it out everywhere.
30 is, come on.
That's disgusting. That means you ain't playing, bud. That means you getting redshirted.
Yeah.
I mean, I just jumped way to the conclusion, so I'm sorry for the listener and the viewer. I don't know what that means, but that is an ugly number.
Yeah, 30 is
for a wide receiver.
Questionable. But he is so talented, and he's just one of the many guys that I'm excited to see out there. But it's so hard to not be so hyper-focused on this QB battle because it's just going to be so much entertainment, so much to follow. Really, I think it's going to be an even miles ahead better QB battle than 2023. Miles ahead. And I think all 3 do have such a real shot. Whereas I never really thought that 2023 was as competitive as people made it out to be.
Yeah, perfect.
I mean,
you can pull it to yourself. That's all good. Look, we spent a little bit of time in the football facility on Friday, mostly getting new media rules for the new year, and most of it was standard stuff. Thank you very much for having us. Absolutely. If you're watching us, thank you for having us Friday. The one takeaway, because we did spend a little bit of time with Coach DeBoer, the one takeaway that I had was much like Coach Saban's, the cake is still baking. The cake is still in the oven. I think that this quarterback competition, while I'm not sure if it's as open as I was thinking a couple of weeks ago, I do think it's going to go all the way through the summer and all the way through fall camp, and you're not going to have, whether it be for strategic purposes, Coach DeBoer saying, "Oh, we don't want to name a starter," or just to keep everyone engaged and in the competition. I don't think you're going to have any sort of indication who the starting quarterback is until just about a week or two before the actual season starts. So this spring, going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see a lot of highlights, probably from a lot of all three players: Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, and Ty Simpson. But I think I'm changing changing my horse. I was Theo. I was on the team Austin Mack race, but I think I'm changing to the favorite. I'm changing to Ty Simpson. But
why don't you think it's as open as you thought?
I think what I've heard through the last 8 or so months is that Ty Simpson has, now this is just hearsay, again, hearsay, is that Ty Simpson has really upped his game as far as, not on the field, but as far as interpersonal relationships on the team, leadership-wise. I don't know that for a hard fact, so just leave a little room for that not to be true. But the whispers that I've been given is that Ty Simpson has really, really upped his game as far as leadership in the locker room, and I think that's going to go a long way. I think that's going to go a long way. Now, golly, I think Keelan Russell's swag is going to go off the charts, and I think that his natural talent is just going to be oozing out of him, and it's probably going to be very hard to keep him off the field. And then Austin Mack, I think he's a very natural thrower and very adept for the system. It fits the system very well. So I do think you're not counting either of those guys out. I just think as you enter the spring, Ty's got a little leg, not a big one, but a little leg up on the other two. And all that to say is we'll get through spring and people will be, oh, who's the quarterback? I think coach will still play. We don't know yet. It's still open. I think they're going to play that game all the way up until almost the season starts.
Look, it's just pure cinema. It really is. I mean, you got the last QB to ever be coached by Nick Saban at Alabama. The last QB.
If you want to look at me, that's fine. You can drag it around and pull it to you. Yeah, it's all good. The last quarter, keep going.
You have the guy who was recruited by DeBoer and Sheridan and Grubb.
The first guy
to go play at Washington that followed him and has been with him now for the whole last year. And then you have the guy who they're calling the best high school recruit to ever come play QB for Alabama.
Okay.
I mean, by recruiting rankings, right? Just objectively off of the rankings, he is the highest rated.
I have a hard time thinking that he's better than Bryce Young coming out of high school. I'm sorry. But that's my own
That's a person,
glasses.
24/7 disagrees.
I don't care what you think 24/7. Bryce Young was
insane. He was an insane prospect.
If Keelan Russell sees the field the way that Bryce Young did and has similar arm talent, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. All right, so anything other than quarterbacks for spring practice? We're going to go talk about 10:45, Kalen DeBoer, and they're going to say, oh, first day of spring practice, really great to get the guys back out there. But it's really going to be a much to do about nothing, in my opinion. Of course, great to be back out there. Woohoo! Calendar's rolling over. Outside of quarterback, here's my questions. Right tackle. Who's playing right tackle? Will it be you, Taco Casa? Will you stand up and step into the role, Wilkin Formby? I'm pulling for you. I'm just telling you. Step outside, take the media off, and just my heart, I'm pulling for you. But I think Jackson Lloyd and Michael Carroll are going to be serious contenders at right tackle. I think that Cam Dewberry is probably going to be playing your Tyler Booker replacement. Right tackle is my biggest question outside of quarterback on the offensive side. I don't really have that much intrigue to the wide receivers because we all know Ryan Williams is great and yada, yada. Great. I don't really have much intrigue in the running backs either because I think they're all good players.
I'm very excited to see Isaiah Horton.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be so fun to see how he runs with Ryan and Jeremy.
If the quarterback that wins the job can get on the ball, which I think they can.
What about Jalen Hale? I mean, is that not intriguing to you? Are you not excited to see this
Returning
guy
from injury?
with how talented he was?
I don't know that we saw a ton out of him that freshman year. I mean, obviously that the touchdown catch against Ole Miss, but maybe this is ignorance on Joe's part, but I think that people saw limited snaps out of him as a freshman and projected a lot onto him. Not that he can't be that. He could be. Look, I'm not limiting anyone's potential, but I didn't see, like otherworld. Now, maybe my own ignorance, but I didn't see otherworldly talent. I saw, hey, good player. I'd like to keep him on the field. Want to see more of him.
I think if he comes out and he can get himself back on the track that he was on, I think he can be a really, really big piece for us. And I don't know, it might not be until 26, but I seriously just think that the potential is there, and we could be looking at a very impactful guy who makes a lot of big plays for Alabama.
The wide receiver room's deep. Cole Adams. I mean, the wide receiver room is deep. Whoever wins the quarterback job, you're going to have plenty of targets to be throwing to. Tight end room, just as deep, too. I know you're losing Dupree and Oots, but I think that you are still very athletic at the tight end position. I'm curious. My biggest question mark is what is happening at inside linebacker next to Justin Jefferson. Is it by committee with Nakai Hill-Green? Is it by committee? You got Nakai Hill-Green. I mean, you lost Jeremiah Alexander. You lost Justin Okoronkwo. Deontay Lawson, what's he going to be? I mean, I personally love you, guy, but just don't know what you're going to be as far as ACL injury. Speaking from experience, 5 knee surgeries on the left knee for your boy. Like, it's not easy. I hope that he comes back, but I don't know what to really expect. I don't know that you should really expect. I don't think it's fair to expect a lot from him. He could give you a lot, but he could give you nothing.
You really think so?
Yeah, I really think. I mean, take me back to linebacker from Louisiana, bad dude, inside linebacker. What's his name? Tore up his knee, never played, went to the league, Jacksonville Jaguars, practice squad. Come on.
Oh, the Jaguars got it for me.
Dylan. Was it Dylan? 33.
Is anyone watching the show?
No one's watching. It's okay. We'll just figure it out. Alabama linebacker, 5-star, Louisiana, 2020, roughly. Dylan Moses. God dang, I was almost there. Dylan, I got there. Think about Dylan Moses. Dylan was a killer. He was incredible. And knee injury comes back because my draft stock is taking a hit. I'm going to recover and play the next year at Alabama. He does, but just, I mean, not talking mad about the guy, just didn't perform that year that he came back. Just didn't play as well and went undrafted, went to the Jaguars and didn't really do anything. And look, that's nothing bad about you, Dylan. Like, circumstances happen. So I'm just projecting that forward into Deontay Lawson. Could he recover and be amazing? Absolutely. Did CJ Mosley have an ACL? I think he did. So Deontay Lawson can recover and be amazing. He can be, but we should leave just enough room on the opposite side. Like, he could come back and just not quite have it.
Which, with the linebacker depth, I mean, that is kind of a scary thought.
Yes.
I didn't even think of the linebackers as being that intriguing until you brought it up a second ago. But
now your edge guy, I mean, you got edge guys out the wazoo. And so I'm excited to see what they do with the edge group. What I'm real curious is to see how this inside linebacker room shakes out. Safeties, you're set. You got Bray Hubbard, and you're bringing back Keon Sabb from injury as well. Corners set. Oh my gosh, the corner room went from last year being is this a question mark is this a question mark to is it a strength? I'm sorry. Look, I'm somebody's trying to call Robert I think Robert from Brookwood. You're trying to call. My phone line's not working well to where the caller can be heard on the stream. So we're just taking voicemails only, Robert. But I will play your voicemail if you do call and get you right in there. I'm sorry. It's just I don't want to play the game of can you hear me? Can they hear me? Can nobody hear me? Until I have that quite figured out. Any other questions for spring football?
No, I mean, I think we took a pretty good look at a lot of the bigger positions on the roster, and I'm trying to think maybe there's.
Can we have one
minute.
smart question for Coach DeBoer? I look the question.
Is there a smart question on the first day?
No, that's why. That's why I usually don't say. I'm usually standing there with my camera the first day because what do you get? 10 questions, 12 questions. 8 of them are going to be about a specific player. Hey, Coach, how's Billy Bean look? Well, Billy Bean, we're excited about him. He had a good offseason, and he's working hard. That position group has really been grinding. We're excited about that coach and that position group. Like, it is the most hooey nonsense today because what are you going to ask? What am I going to ask? Hey, Coach, I mean, come on. I got to think of something smart, something that I'm going to get an actual answer from. I don't want to. You can't ask about a specific player because you're just going to get the coach speak. Are you going to ask about depth?
No one really knows anything about the specific player.
So what we are going to hear today, I'll tell you this. What we are going to hear is who is available in the spring. They kind of alluded to a modified spring game in our little meeting. They left us a kind of a modified. They said, "Oh, we're going to change some things." Yeah, perfect. Let's listen to this. We're going to download that voicemail from Robert, and we'll play that to close the show. That's exactly what we're going to do. We go to Show and Finder. Perfect. Look at this. Why don't you talk about spring practice for about 2 seconds?
All right. So as Joe gets his voicemail set up, I just think that we know so little about these guys still. You know, what's DeBoer going to tell you about a specific player when they've barely been practicing? We have such a long spring. I think the smartest question, I just don't think there's anything that's going to get you anything crazy. May as well ask something about like A-Day. Or something.
So he did say, they said on Friday, just alluded to it being modified. What we will find out today, he said, alluded to it being modified because of injury, because of availability. They said, oh, we're going to have a hard time. I don't know how true this is. They said, we're going to have a hard time doing spring practice because he said, we're going to let you know on Monday, but about 16 guys are out for spring, and a lot of them are on the offensive end. So we'll find out who that really is and how much that will hinder practice. I think that's going to be the biggest issue. Who's available? How much practice can you really run? If you're missing 16 guys and most of them are on the offensive end, will that mean that the reps get a little bit?
What I'm interested in is, so last year there were I think there was a time where with the injuries they weren't able to get
I said before from
3 whole offensive lines. So like that offensive line depth could be a big thing depending on who out of those 16 guys are hurt.
Absolutely.
Because you need at least 3 units to go through practices.
Theo, Robert did call, and I do have his voicemail. Robert, thank you so much. I'm sorry I couldn't get you live because I can't get, for some reason, and I think I know why, but I just need to purchase a little more technology. The caller won't get onto the stream, but they will get onto the stream this way. So you can call 205-462-7340, extension 800. This is Robert from Brookwood.
Robert from Brookwood. Bama basketball, I said before the year, I think they're overrated. They have yet to beat an elite top 3 or 4 team in the SEC. Our best win is 2 against a mediocre Kentucky, 1 against an A&M team that has since lost 4 in a row. This week needs to prove something. I don't know what the issues are there, but they are not a Final Four team in my opinion. Thank you, brother.
Was last year's team a Final Four team in your opinion?
At this point, no, but I'm with you, Robert. I'm with you. All right, thank you for the call. I'm with you. He says your best 2 wins are Kentucky and A&M. And look at Kentucky and Texas A&M and tell me those are 2 great wins. Good wins, okay. Are they great wins?
They're pretty good wins.
You can get a great win on Wednesday.
Or on Saturday.
You can get two. You haven't had a great. Have you had? Okay. Have you had a great win yet?
Saturday would be the best win of any team.
Oh, sure, definitely. But you've lost to Auburn. You've lost to Tennessee. Yes, the non-conference schedule was extremely brutal. You beat Houston. Okay, you got it. Yeah. You beat Houston.
Yeah,
Houston at the Players Era Festival. Sorry, Robert. I gotta jump you in right there. Houston at the Players Era Festival. That's your best win, is it not? I'm not looking at the schedule yet. Here we go. ESPN, Alabama. Oh,
no, that is fully. I knew there was something I was missing. Houston is an incredible win. Samson's team is amazing, always is, and yeah, those guys are good.
Is that your best win? It's got to be. Okay, you got
neutral site win over
Houston, Illinois. That Carolina win is worthless now. We don't. Houston, Texas A&M, and Kentucky are your wins of note, and really Kentucky twice. Great, you beat Kentucky twice. I'm with you, Robert. I think that
Houston's an impressive win.
Yeah, but I'm with him on the overrated though.
What makes this team overrated?
They don't respect winning to me. They don't respect the little things that you have to do to win. The only player out there that I see that respects what you have, the little things to do is Mo Diabate. And Mo Diabate playing on an empty damn stomach, playing on Saturday, no food. You got to wake up at 4 a.m. to eat. Got to wait till 6:30, 8 p.m. to eat. Just insanity. And he's the only one out there. Okay, that's hyperbolic. He is very hyperbolic. To me, you look at the end of the half, you look at the end of the game, and ask yourself: Does this team respect? Does this team respect the little things that you have to do to win a championship? So far, the answer is no. Does that mean they can't in the next 2 weeks? No, they can. They can absolutely flip a switch. We saw that last year.
Experience, talent, amazing coaching.
If I gave you $100 and said you have to cash this bet, what round does Alabama go to? How far are you taking it? You're not taking it that far.
I would go Elite Eight.
Okay.
I think this team goes the Elite
Eight. That's probably fair, and I'm with you there. Going back to expectation,
we just talked about how expectations should be high. I fully believe in that. And Joe, you also talked about how random so much stuff can be in the tournament, how small that margin of error is. Those words left your mouth.
And we are making the margin larger by not respecting the game, by not playing defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't disagree with that.
The way to make the margin smaller is to not is to get the dadgum basketball in bounds.
There are only two fan bases this year that expect their team to go to the Final Four: Auburn and Duke. Seriously, you look at what Florida fans are saying, right?
They stink. We're going to beat them on Wednesday.
They are scared. They are in panic mode. Even schools like Houston, in panic mode. St. John's, they're worried that they've just been beating up on an easy conference. Even Michigan State, with the incredible run that the Spartans have been on. And I think they are an amazing team. I think they probably go to the Final Four this year. They're worried. Every fan base is going to be worried. Auburn and Duke are really the only two where this season has been so good that they're fully content over there in their little corners. What I'm saying is all the fears and worries that we have as Alabama fans are fully normal for a national title contender to have in March. There's nothing wrong with recognizing flaws in your team. You can make the case all you want that, I think this team's overrated, but at the end of the day, they're just flawed. And you know what? If Alabama has to go in and play UConn in the round of 32, maybe something happens. Maybe Hurley's able to go out and pull on.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, it's possible. It all comes down to matchup. If we get the matchups, we could be back. We could be right there. We could have that banner hanging.
Or you can be matchup proof by playing defense every damn possession. You make yourself matchup proof by not letting them go 94 feet at the end of the half for an easy bucket and one.
Look, we love Nate Oates. We embrace what he has done for this program. He is a great offensive coach. He really does try on the defensive end. He tries.
Yeah, you've had
He's not-
Keep going.
Look, he's had good defenses. He's improved these guys. They're a lot better defensively than they are last year. You can't deny that.
That's true.
But you can't go out and accept the fact that, oh, look, like, here's our coach. He is one of the greatest offensive minds in the sport. You kind of have to live with the fact that, yeah, there are going to be some really frustrating sequences defensively.
Not at the end of the game. Not at the end of the half. I can't live with that. Sorry. Those two places are where winning time happens. Yes. 12 minutes in the half. Okay. You lost a guy on a back screen. All right. I'll cry and get over it. All right, we've gone too long. We've gone way too long today.
We have talked a lot.
We appreciate everybody who's joined us today on the Derek Daniel State Farm Studio voicemail line. You can call it 205-462-7340, extension 800. I'm going to close the show by playing them all over again, just all in succession, and we'll say goodbye. Tomorrow we will have Mason Woods back in the show. We're going over to the Malmore Athletic Facility to listen to Coach DeBoer talk about all the players and how great they are right now. It's first day of spring. Everybody looks good. Everybody feels good. We're all excited. Cannot wait to do that. Follow us on the Bama Central YouTube channel. Theo, before we get out of here, I watched Elimination Chamber with Mason Woods, and I'm still shocked. I'm still in shock. You're not a wrestling guy, and that's okay.
I'm not a wrestling guy.
Why don't you ask me the question we set up with? The craziest thing in the history of wrestling probably happened this weekend. So yeah, throw the question back to me, and I'll.
Okay, so why is this such a big deal? Enlighten us.
Well, John Cena turned heel, and if you don't know what that means, basically John Cena became a bad guy. They're all characters: face, good guy; heel, bad guy. Good or bad, right? And wrestling characters go between good and bad all the time. But on Saturday, imagine Tim Tebow coming to the stage and saying, bleep you, with a big old joint in his mouth, a big old beer, and just saying, by the way, God is fake. That's what it was like. It was like, so John Cena has been a good guy for 23 years. It's always been hustle, loyalty, respect. It's always been never give up. It's always been, no matter the circumstance, we're here. You know, John Cena follows everyone back on Twitter. He followed me this weekend because I followed him. He's always been the good guy. And he comes out on stage and he turns on our hero. He turns on Cody Rhodes. He sides with The Rock. He sides with the bad guy. It's like Tim Tebow coming on the stage with a big old joint, big old 40 beer. He's got himself, your favorite non-secular music on the stereos, and he's on the stage talking about, oh yeah, by the way, the last handful of years of my life, the last 15 years of my life, I was faking it. God is fake. Yada, yada, yada. Don't do the right things, young boy. It was heartbreaking. It was shocking, Theo. If Tim Tebow told you God was fake, what would be your reaction?
I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what I'd do or say, or I'd just be too stunned to speak.
That's where I've been through the last 3 days. I watched it over again on Sunday. I had to. I thought, there's no way they did this. But they did. John Cena is now a bad guy. He will be playing the evil character on TV for the next several weeks until WrestleMania. We'll talk about it.
Is it possible that this is all a fake out? That, like, he's, like, I don't know, pretending to be bad to, like, mess with one of their plans? Or
Theo, I love it. Plot? I love it, Theo. We're spurning the. So what's going to happen? Here's my prediction. John Cena is going to be bad all the way to WrestleMania. I think he's going to lose to Cody at WrestleMania. Anyways, you're going to keep going. I think John Cena is going to play this bad guy all the way till about August, right? He's going to be. to where he's got another part. CM Punk, very popular wrestler. They have a long history together. CM Punk is going to come in and be, remember who you are, John Cena. Remember who you are. In August, SummerSlam, you'll see the story is going to turn out so beautiful. I mean, it's going to be great. Because I think you're right, Theo. I think there's a little element of, John Cena's soul is compromised to The Rock, and it's just going to be it's his last year of wrestling, so it's how will John Cena's story end? And
does he go scorched earth and like?
Right. Does he go scorched earth and leave everybody and say, bleep you guys, I'm the best? You already saw Ric Flair. Ric Flair went on the social media machine and said, I cannot have this version of John Cena breaking my record. There are 17 world championships for Ric Flair, 16 for John Cena. That's what this is all kind of about, the breaking the record this year in his final year. He said, I can't have bad guy. He said, I stand with Cody Rhodes. And so
what if he comes back? And is Ric Flair coming back?
If Ric Flair comes back, that'd be fun, but he's about 98 years old and he can't move worth anything. So, and frankly, has an alcohol problem.
I'm all of a sudden a little intrigued.
Exactly. That's what happened. Tim Tebow came out on stage and said, God is, he kicked Cody Rhodes where the sun don't shine. He kicked Cody Rhodes. Basically, Cody Rhodes said, Rock, bleep you. And John Cena gave him a high five like, yeah, man, we're men of the people. And then as soon as the high five happened, boom, kick to the groin. And John Cena says, but I'm actually a bad guy too. Are you a Travis Scott guy? You like rap?
Yes, I do.
Travis Scott was in the ring at this time. He's I don't know why. He's a big time celebrity that likes wrestling, I guess. He was in the ring. He slapped the mess out of Cody. Like, he's on the ground, and we know it's a little bit orchestrated. So sometimes the kicks and the slaps and the punches don't land, and that's the way it's designed. But nobody told that to Travis Scott. Travis Scott, he slapped the hell out of Cody Rhodes. It was definitely real. And I was shocked. I was shocked. The entire event, Theo, was from start to finish. They brought back a young lady who hasn't been around for a long time. She attacked somebody in a crazy way. Randy Orton came back in the middle of the show, who's been gone since November. It was insane. And then they turned the greatest good guy into a bad guy right in front of our face. John Cena has the record for most Make-A-Wishes granted.
Really?
By Make-A-Wish. Has the record. I'm the good guy. He's at the show granting Make-A-Wishes before the show starts.
That's impressive.
And now it's all for nothing. Our hearts are broken.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Dude, there's nothing to like. I don't know how much better to describe it. It was the most shocking thing that I have seen in a long, long time. I listened to a podcast about 6 months ago where Cena's on it, and Cena was like, "Oh man, they because it's all a script, right?" So in 2012, they said, "Oh, we're gonna make you a bad guy," and Cena's like, "You really want me to go down that route?" And they didn't. They've kept him a good guy for 20 years, and like that's what's made this so interesting is because wrestlers go from good to bad all the time, and that's just the cycles. But do you know Hulk Hogan? What year were you born, Theo?
2005.
Oh my God! So in 1996, Hulk Hogan has been going since the early 80s, right? And eat your Wheaties, Hulkamania, good guy Hulk Hogan, right? All the way through the 80s, and then mid-90s WCW starts, and they've got two guys who are just jerks. They're being bad guys, and Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. We're the NWO. Are you familiar with NWO? You've seen those shirts though.
Oh,
NWO.
Yeah, I've seen the shirts.
Right. Those shirts went crazy. They went insane. Dennis Rodman was in the NWO. Right. They are teasing. We've got a mystery man. We're two guys. We got a mystery man. There's somebody else on our team, and they're just beating everybody up. Right. And Hulk Hogan is coming out there like, I'm going to beat you up too, guys. You two need to stop. You two need to stop. It's like 1996. He's been a good guy his entire career. I'm going to defend everybody. And then what happens? Hulk Hogan turns and becomes the third man, NWO, and it was a shocking thing. And so it's been compared to that. It's been the moment this weekend is compared to the NWO turn, Hulk Hogan as the secret third man. Because that's when, have you ever seen Hulk Hogan with the black beard? That's Hollywood Hulk Hogan. That's where he's a heel. So what will they do with John Cena? Ugh, my heart is broken, Theo, but it doesn't matter. We have to get out of here and go talk to football. Tell everybody where they can find you on social media. Tell everybody what you're doing next week. Make up something interesting, and we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
Okay, well, it's X at Theo Fernandez with 2 underscores. And then I will not be here because I will be out of the country. My family lives in Panama. I'm going to see them for spring break, actually. So I will be on the beach. I'll listen to it live, though, from there.
Oh, don't wake up at 8 a.m. from the beach unless you're already up for a sunrise.
Yeah, I got a little run along the sand.
Ooh.
Sunrise. Got the AirPods in listening to you and Hunter Brantley, right? Talk.
Me and Hunter Brantley. I'm bringing Hunter in to sub next week. You need to leave it. Y'all's roles need to reverse.
So I gotta call in.
You leave the voicemail. Hunter will do the hosting, and we'll break down Alabama and Auburn and Alabama and Florida and SEC tournament. Let's get out of here for the day. I'm just going to play off all the voicemails, and we're saying goodbye. You follow us at Joe Gaither 6, at Theo Fernandez _. You follow us at Bama Central, the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon.
What's up, guys? It's Dax again. Halftime of Alabama, Tennessee. I got one word: winnable. It is very winnable right now. The offense is playing pretty normal. I mean, we're getting inside in the lane. Tennessee's playing really good defense. They have such a good defense. But if we can get just a couple more threes, we just need to start shooting more threes, and we will start to go on some runs. But our defense is playing pretty good. I'm loving the effort on that side. Let's keep that momentum going. Let's go. Shut them out in the second half. That'd be sweet. All right. This is going to be short because I need a shower after that. The Josh Pate pucker meter was at an 11 out of 10 for the entire game. And now I'm depressed. Roll Tide. Let's beat Florida.
This is Angus in Chicago. Just wanting the Tide Nation to know, be put on notice, that Deacon Barnes has blessed you and then kicked your ass. Go Vols.
What's going on, boys? Are we sure that was Nate Oates coaching that game today? Because it sure looked a lot like Anthony Grant or Avery Johnson out there. I mean, Nate Oates, what are you doing, man? You're supposed to be a math genius, and you can't count to 5? LeBaron Fallon, I get you're a freshman, man, but you have to know and have that internal clock in your head when the 5 seconds is up to call a timeout. And speaking of 5, Jaron Stevenson, you let a dude who's 6'5", 6'4", get the biggest rebound in the game over you. He just wanted it more. Plain and simple. He just wanted the ball more. And this is about as gut-wrenching of a loss I've seen in a long time. But unfortunately, there's no rest for the weary because we got a really good Florida team coming to town on Wednesday. I'll holler at y'all later and roll Tide.
This is James from Opelika. I just can't believe what I just saw. As I was telling my cousin wife, if Bama loses to Tennessee, they just need to clean house and fire the entire coaching staff, and that's about how I feel right about now. I've had about 18 Keystones since Jemai Meshach, that is named. I don't know why we can't recruit him, but since he broke the band's hearts, I've been having about 18 Keystones. I just don't know why we can't get over that hump and beat Tennessee. They're just too good. I don't know. Maybe we just need to clean house and find another coach. I just don't know. All right, y'all take care now.
Good morning, Joe. Robert from Brookwood. Bama basketball, I said it before the year, I think they're overrated. They have yet to beat an elite top 3 or 4 team in the SEC. Our best win is 2 against a mediocre Kentucky, 1 against a A&M team that has since lost 4 in a row. This week needs to prove something. I don't know what the issues are there, but they are not a Final Four team.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.